Hi. Um, I just learned how to do this by myself, so I'm pretty excited about that. I have to be thankful for human design because it has pulled me sometimes kicking and screaming into all the new technology from the very beginning. Anyway, it's actually fun to talk to you like this. I almost feel like we're coffee together or something. So, um, so, it's been a month now that I've been staying at home. I've gone out twice just for groceries. I'm not even responding to going for a walk. I'm just home inside. And it's quite a gift to experience this. I think one of the most interesting things for me is seeing how very little I need, you know. In the morning, I go into my closet where I've got my clothes, and it's like, I don't use any of them, you know. I have my comfy clothes, my stay-at-home clothes, and the same goes for everything, you know, that the pattern over all these years, before my experiment and even after my experiment, was responding and responding to buying things and responding to having things. And none of that was wrong. But, you know, just looking at it now, how little I really need. Um, it's it's kind of interesting, you know, some food. um, I do need my Coca-Cola, and I know that's shocking for many people, but I keep responding to needing it, so I have it. My coffee, my bed, my computer, and yeah, it's interesting. It's just interesting that, and the other part that I found really um, quite amazing, actually, for my mind, it's been amazing, is that, you know, I would respond to doing this or respond to traveling here or visiting family or going on a cruise. There would be all these responses to something in the future. And then my mind would help me figure out how to do that, you know, make plans, book flights, hotels, all of that. And that's been for years. I mean, yeah, before human design and even after the experiment, I was always responding to visit family or, um, you know, going to a workshop with, not a workshop, but a course with Ra in some place in the world, Madrid or England or Austria or Ibiza or, you know, around America. And so that's pretty much gone, you know. I mean, it's almost as if there's no future. I mean, of course there's a future, but you know, it's like a fog. I just don't know. And so there's absolutely no planning. I'm not even responding to the future. It's like I have an immersion in Austria that is in October, and I'm like, we have to wait and see. You know, I don't know. I don't know. And so there's no response to anything in the future. So my mind is not busy planning anything that I've responded to. And what's amazing is that it's not, it's okay for my mind, even. I mean, that's kind of like, that's interesting that the mind isn't going crazy about the future. Um, and I'm just relaxed with what is. I mean, I do enjoy um, being in the sun That's one of the things I've noticed is my body needs to be in the sun, and that I've enjoyed. So I'll go out in the front of our home or in the back on the terrace and just be in the sun for parts of the day when it is sunny. That's been like my body really feels like, the cells need to drink in the energy of the sun. And yeah, what a wild ride, huh? I mean, phew. And I know in the newsletters I've talked a lot about 2027 and the shift that we're already feeling now. And I do want to say that you know th- this part of human design is predictions. It's um, we don't know what's really going to happen. We can feel and see and sense that something's really changing. And with this pandemic, it's been clear that humanity is mutating, it's changing, it can never go back to the way it was, but we don't know what's going to be ahead. I can look at the gates and I can look at the keys and I can look at the locks and I can interpret that through what I see and what I know in human design, but I really don't know. And I think that what's been interesting for me since my experiment is that I am so relaxed and not knowing. I have an open ajna center, and in human design, if you have an open ajna center, the one thing you want is to be certain, to pretend or to really believe and how wonderful it is for me to have, even at the beginning of my experiment, to realize I didn't know and to relax into that. And so now it's not knowing is just pretty much where I live. Um, because, yeah, I can have, my um, my mind's perspective of what's happened in the past, and my mind can look into the future and think it knows, but really, what do I know? You know, really, what I know is here I am with you. That's it. What's going to happen when this is done? I don't know. And I think this is something that is how to say, it's a theme, I think, for all of humanity and all the countries is this sense of not knowing. And I know that that not knowing is really scary for many people, but it's our truth that we don't know and we can't know the future. And the more people that can really relax into that not knowing, the more this, how to say, a calmness can settle over humanity. And the other thing is that how we're all forced to wait right now. I mean, this is an amazing time with this pandemic. I mean, yes, and people have died, and a lot is going on with the economy and the insecurity and all of this. But if you just kind of look at it from up here, just looking at it from a different perspective, that we're really all forced to wait. We can't go moving outwards in the old patterns. You know, um, I don't. I don't think this is bad. I think that this is actually um, a new way that many of us can begin to relax into life. Um, I mean, we'll see when people can start going out again what happens, but I just look at it all in through the eyes of human design with not knowing and then waiting, and these are such um, for me important aspects of the experiment. Yeah, it's and it feels like that for this time right now, this is why human design came into the world when it did. I mean, it's came in, I think it's 1987. I'm not very good with years, but it gave that amount of time before now to have a solid foundation and to have many people know about it and many people to be able to share what they know with others. Because for me, human design gave me a way, it gave me the key to trust myself. And I never had that before, to really trust my own movement in the world and to trust how I make a decision. And this is really needed right now, to trust who you are and to trust your movement in the world and to trust your decisions because the outer trust is really gone. Um, for me, it's very similar to 9/11. And um, I had been trained by Rod to be an analyst, but I kept going to being listed as an analyst. And Ra would send me an email once or twice a week. Are you ready to be listed now? And I kept going, my 6'2", leave me alone, leave me alone. But my sounds, showed me that no, it wasn't time. And so um, 9/11 happened, and which was shocking for the world, but really shocking, I think, for all of the US. And I could feel it inside of me how this trust, because the US hasn't had any world war like Europe and Asia. There has not been that kind of disaster happening on its land. And so this was really a traumatic time. And I could feel that the outside trust had been broken. And Ra had sent an email and said, "Are you ready now to be listed?" I went, aha. And I knew that I needed to be available in that way so that people could find something within themselves that they could trust because they couldn't trust out here. And now I feel this is exactly like that, but on a global theme for everyone on this planet, for every country on this planet, that no one can trust out here. We can't trust what the governments are saying. We can't trust what the experts are saying. We can't trust what our local, mayors and all are. We can't trust out here. So what do we do? So for me, this is really the gift of human design, that it really brings to a person's life a trust within themselves, and that it's I, I hate to use the word urgency, but it's kind of feels like that. There's an urgency now, and there's nothing to do. We each have our way of moving in the world, and I'm not going to start shouting from rooftops about human design. That's not correct for me at all, you know. Um, all I can do is wait and respond and honor my response, and that's my life. That's it. That's what brought me here now, and oh, I love me living this now. I can't believe what I experience within. I mean, yeah, it's so far beyond anything I ever dreamed of. I just feel really lucky that human design found me and the raw found me and that it was correct for me to do whatever I've done so far. And I mean, it's such an amazing way to live life, to be so relaxed in what is, to not worry. I mean, the mind in the early days would worry, but even now my mind doesn't worry. Yeah, it has a little thing to say here or there, but it knows its place. It really knows its place. And it's pretty quiet in the corner, you know. It tries once in a while to sneak in and but it knows its place. So I mean, I I I'm yeah, I'm just loving me and loving what is. And I know that I can meet whatever comes in the future as myself. And so there's nothing to worry about. Um, and it's a gift. It's a gift. So that's what I hope for all of you too. And I know many of you are in the same place. You know, I know that I've spoken with many people, and I know the incredible shift that can happen from the simple of the experiment, just the simple. Not no need to learn human design unless it's correct for you to learn it. But just the simple can bring um, this space for you, you know, this deep relaxation into what is, and loving yourself and just meeting life as yourself and trusting your decisions. I mean, that's for me all I care about in human design. You know, yeah, there's all this other stuff and it's wonderful, but you know, what I really care about is for each person to have the chance to live who they were born to be. Ra would call it our birthright, and it really is. We were just conditioned away from it, and that's the way it was. I mean, there's no blame. There's, you know, no mistakes. There's no mistakes in this life. We're all being moved. I mean, so anyway, well, that's what I felt like talking about. Now, let me see if I can figure out how to stop the recording. There it is. Okay. This is new. All right, guys. This was really very sweet to share with you in this way. And until next time, bye for now.